So I got this question the other day. I'll figure out how to answer it for you today. We got a little bit of time. Random question. Is there any chance someone turned on the machine when you're down in the bowels of it? I'm going to answer that question in this video. So, here's the deal about me being in a chipper. It's got the access door right there. And what that access door lets me do is this. I can go all the way out, or I can go all the way up here to the chipper disc. And this is what's going on. Down here, see that belly pan there? That goes all the way up the chipper disc. Then you got your feed wheels here. It's about 2 foot down from the top of your feed wheel, which is up here, to the bottom. Okay. So I'm in there doing work a lot. Stuff gets clogged up in here because you got a feed wheel, feed wheel, feed wheel, feed wheel, feed wheel, drum. That wood's riding all right in here. But you have all this other area down there. Sometimes the augers get clogged. I'm in there doing chain. I'm up in the front. The first yoke will blow a hose up underneath her because the hoses are underneath the cab. I'll get in there and work on stuff. So I'm in here maybe every day, every other day, something like that, doing something, looking at chain, make sure everything's good. But I'm in there quite a bit. Here's the one thing about the chipper is when it comes to people starting it, if I'm in there, this is what Morbark wants you to do. And it's a great idea. It's a genius idea. I'll just show you what they want. Okay? Moving parts can crush and cut. Follow lockout procedures before servicing. They want you to get a lockout tag. Put it right here, and then put a lock on it, and that lockout tag will say John. That means I'm in the chipper or it's broke down. You're not supposed to start it. Okay, works great for the Morbark factory when people are servicing it, because if they got something tore apart and somebody doesn't know about it, then it'll work really good. But we don't use it out here. I've locked the computer in certain areas we've been in. We got a lock in the fuel tank. But I don't necessarily do that. And here's why. Pretty much nobody runs the chipper except for me. Paul will run it if I'm not here. That's it. So no one ever has a reason to start the chipper. When it comes out here to the woods, I don't start skidders. I started the slasher 2 weeks ago because it was when it snowed out and it was cold. I warmed it up for Tom. He wasn't here yet. But nobody starts anybody else's equipment out of the blue. And it's always us 4 guys out here in the woods. So no one ever comes over here and says, I'm going to fire this chipper up. That's a great idea. No one even knows how to run it except for Paul. And if I'm ever inside it, somebody knows I'm inside of it around here. And I try not to get inside of it with the motors on. I don't know if I ever have. I might have a couple times in the past. If you get me fueled up or mad or something, I might jump in there in a hurry. But I don't ever get in there with the motors on. That's not worth doing. But here's how it works. You got your computers in here. You can only start it from this computer. Now, I got all these buttons up in the cab and then some more. But I got 2 motors here. This one here is your V12. This one here is your C13, okay? Flail engine up here, see? Chipper engine. People have asked if they can put John John Deere or Cummins, you can put John Deere. They already have it in the computer. Cat data link. That's where it's at. Okay, just saying, cat power or bust. They have a safety relay on these. Morbark put this on there. Turn the keys on. Everything's ready to go. Computer will come up and say, that chipper guy is ready to go, ready to rock. Come on, come in. There we go. So let's say I'm gonna come up here, fool around. I'll fire this chipper up while John's inside of it. If you can hear that beeper? It's got a 5-second beeper on it, and you have to hold the key over for it to do that. So it doesn't start like anything else out in the woods. And Morbark designed that so that no one could come up here and say, well, I'm gonna fire this chipper up. I want to hear this V12 run, you know. Well, you go to hear that V12 run, hear the beeper? Nothing. So what happens is if you're ever in this thing, which I have never been in it, and you hear that 5-second beeper go off, you best get out. Okay, I've heard of it happen to one guy down in Chile when he was working with a bunch of Chileans, I think they're called. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but he was in Chile. And he was working on the inside, and they come back from lunch, and he heard the beepers going off, and he come out of there like a house of fire. So they designed that way. Now let's say I'm inside of it, you kick both motors on. By the time that thing starts, either motor, you can get out of there before you can turn anything on. Here's the other trick. This chipper disc right here, I can pretty much guarantee no one can turn that on unless you've run these Morbark chippers before, the newer ones. You can't just push the button and it comes on. Just like the keys. You can't turn the key and it comes on. Morbark did a bunch of stuff, safety reasons. And great ideas. I mean, they had to do them. It's just Morbark. Kudos to Morbark. Great design equipment because they designed everything. Everything's got a relay on it. Nothing can be fired up and rolling in 15, 20, 30 seconds. Everything takes time, and they did that for safety reasons. It's a great idea. You can't, if you're ever worried about going through a chipper, I don't want to talk about none of that. Anyways, you have to hold this down for 3 seconds for it to work. And in the mode I'm on in this computer, you can't. None of these buttons work right now. None of them work. If you started up both motors and you wanted to run this thing from down here, none of them work right now. Because the computer in the cab is in go mode. So this one is shut off. Nothing works on here. You can't do anything down here. When I switch it to this computer, nothing works up there. And that's again for safety reasons. Kudos to Morbark. Great designed equipment. I don't know why they're not paying me some change for talking so great about their chippers. Come on, boys, over to Morbark. Come on now. Throw that chipper guy a bone. Okay, here we go. So you got to hold that in. Right here it says cab mode. You switch it, it goes into ground mode. Okay, now I always leave it cab mode when I shut it off so no one can fool with it. But they designed all of it this way for safety reasons. When I kick that chipper disc in, them feed wheels will not turn on. You have to have the conveyor on, you got to have the augers on, and you got to be at 2130 RPMs for that V12. Then your feed wheels kick on. Okay? So all of it's designed so that if you're inside there and you got to get out and this thing's screaming and roaring, you should have time, whether you're working in here or down there, to get out of it or let somebody know what's going on. But when it comes to our crew, nobody runs it except for me. And Paul knows how to run a little bit. Paul enjoys it a little bit, I think. But if I'm here, he really doesn't like to chip because he gets all nerved up. But he's good at it. He's real careful. Paul's a real good operator. So nobody runs it. So if I'm inside there, everyone will look around and say, "Where's John at? Look at him coming." They'll say, like, "Where's John at?" "Oh, where's he at? Out to the bathroom? Maybe he's over here." No. They'll see the door open. I'm in the chipper. So hopefully this explains it a little bit. You can't just fire this thing up and start going. in 5 seconds. It takes a long time, and you gotta know how to do it. It's all for safety. So they don't want no one getting hurt in these things, and that's the best bet. Safety first. So hopefully that helps out with your question about anybody getting stuck in the chipper, me getting stuck in the chipper. That chipper guy has never been in this chipper when it got turned on before. That chipper guy hopefully never will get in this chipper when it's turned on before, because everybody here kind of understand what's going on. We don't mess with each other's equipment. Majority of the time we all run a certain piece of equipment. We do run a couple other things every now and then, but no one just gets in something and says, I'm going to fire this thing up and start chipping. There's a truck here. That's not how it works. So, but if somebody ever did, Morbark's got designed to try to keep everybody safe, and that's how it works. So hopefully this helped out the question you had about me being stuck in there. If somebody kicked it on, never happened. Never will happen. So anyways, hopefully I answered your question. Keep the questions coming. I'll do another video on the questions maybe next week if I have time. Next week I'll do a question and answer, so maybe hold off till then when I do the question and answer. I'll let you know ahead of time, hey, throw me some questions. I won't just say, okay, question. No, I'll let you know. So hopefully that explains a little bit on if that chipper guy was ever stuck inside this thing.